Hello everybody, this is Simeonski. Welcome to another Rec Room tutorial. In this one, I'm gonna explain to you one of the mechanics that I used in my games and also show you how you can build this mechanic into your game step by step. So this is a game mechanic that I call the tip screen that I'm using in my subroom, the Great Banquet of Bible Experience. It's basically used for escape rooms that gives you tips. See, I press this and then it tells you wait 10 seconds until the next tip. Wait 2 seconds until the next tip. Pick up cards in the white building. So that's giving you the first tip. And if you click this again, it will tell you wait until you receive the next tip. So this is what we want to build from scratch, a kind of tip system that gives you tips, but lets you try out a little bit on your own in between these tips. So let's go to our macro room and build this from scratch. Alright, we are inside our macro room and we want to build the tip system. We're starting off with a button, as always. And we call this button tip. Here we go. There we go. That's the tip button. So what we need for this is a time giver, basically, to show us the time that is left and reset it. How do we build a time giver? We will basically have to use an event receiver. And this event receiver is called so many here. It's called update 30 Hertz. So it's sending out an update every 30 Hertz, which is a lot, which is more than a second. But what we want to get out of this is another event that will will trigger something every second. So we can count the seconds. So what we can do here is get seconds. We have a get seconds thing. Time get universal seconds or time get precise seconds. Universal is fine. We want it to be an integer, not an integer variable. And as you see, this is changing every 1 second now. What this now does or will do is basically just transferring that on over into an integer variable that we will call timer. Okay, we call it timer. You can sync it, you can have it as cloud variable, but probably not syncing it makes sense here, because this will run on your local machine. And basically, this is firing all the time basically, and this will change the value timer every second. Alright, so now we basically just need to go through the steps. You can also put this into a circuit if you want, if that's easier for you. But let's say we have 3 tips here that we want to show. The first one will come up directly. The second one will have a delay of 30 seconds. And the second one will have a delay of another 30 seconds, let's say. Okay. So we need some other values here. And we need another integer here. And this integer will be call it tip number. Okay, this is one of the integers we need. And then we need another integer that's called, it doesn't need to be called like that, you can call it whatever you want, of course. But this will be, I will call this time left. Okay, let's call it time left. All right. Okay, we will start with tip number 1. Just for the sake of simpleness, you can start with, normally is starting with tip number 0, but you can easily just by hand set the standard value of tip number to 1. That makes it easier. So when you click this, it will first check the numbers. Okay, and we will think that normally it's going from 1 to 3. So if we press it, it will check if tip number equals you can do it differently. Like this is only one way how you can do it and how I quickly do it now. So if tip number equals 1, which is the standard, then this will be the standard. This will happen anyways first. Then something will happen and else it will continue. And let me copy this over already that you see it actually is the process here. So we'll copy this over. So it will do something here, and if it's not 1 anymore, it will continue and check if the tip number is 2. And if it's 2, it will do something, and then it will continue. Basically, what we want it to do is, it will show the tip, and let's say we have a text box here. This is our kind of tip screen. It will stay here. So it will show the tip. And it will also start the counter. So for this we don't need this, but it will basically set, we can use it set text here, set text object here, because this you can connect to the same text box over and over again, so this would be the easiest way to do it. So it will basically set the text to this and then start the counter. So you push this, counter will start. How do you start the counter? You basically set the time left thing to okay, this timer is always there. The time left thing to 0. Now maybe to 30. And you start the counter. How do you start the counter? This triggers something that will continue a process now, and that is the counter process. Yeah, let's say this is starting the counter process. This is always changing. So what we need here is some kind of system that will basically enable the counter process now. How do we do that? We will do we put a boolean in between that. We will put it here because they want to have it at the bottom of the chain and call it I call it TMR now. This is not very important, you don't need it anymore anywhere. But we want to have this. No. So, yep. So we want to have this only trigger if the timer is activated, else it's doing nothing. So now it's deactivated. So then this should not change now. Yeah, it's not changing as you see because the timer is deactivated. But once you trigger this screen and the timer is set to timer left, we want to activate the timer for us. So basically what we do is we use this over here, the TMR. We activate it, set it to true. And then the timer will be running. How do we run the timer? There we need to do a second event receiver here. Do we need to do a second event receiver actually? Yeah, we need a second event receiver for that. And this event receiver will be triggering when timer changed. This one. So whenever timer is changing, it's firing a signal. So it's firing a signal every 1 second, basically. And this second will basically remove one integer per second from this thing. We can do this with the subtract chip. That is up like this. So, bam. We don't even need this here. Doesn't matter. Just need to subtract 1 from the timer left thing. So it's subtracting 1 per second from the timer left thingy over here. And this is also where our chain continues. So before we can we'll be able to go to tip number 2, which will do the same as it does here. We will have another check, and that is another if chip. and that will be less or equal in this time. And we will basically check if the timer left is less or equal 0. And we will put this in between. And if it's less or equal 0, then it means the timer has run out. We can continue with this and change. Interesting. It might be interesting. No, it's better now like this. Change the tip number to 2 and compare the tip number. And if it's 2, then we will use this and set the tip to tip 2. Call this tip 1. It's a little bit complicated, but I think you see what I'm getting into here. You can continue this how often you want to. You can just continue this chain and just change the tip number all the time, and then always the tip that is actually has the right number here will show up. Then wait, then it should go here. Bam, bam. Ah, okay. No. I'm a little bit wrong here. Yeah, I'm a little bit wrong here. Sorry. Of course, after tip 1 is shown, you already want the tip number to go to 2. Yeah, because then you can continue this chain after some seconds. I'm not sure if this is working now the way I want it, but I want to finish off with something that it shows you how many seconds you have left. And that's super easy. That's happening basically if this thing is above 0, then you go to the else condition. Now it's 0, so it's true. Yeah, else condition, and we will create a subtitle. Okay, I'll show subtitle. A string variable, string format it's called. And we need the toString. Of course, you can also put this into and now we want to have the time left transferred into a string, have this as a variable, and say 0, which is the number that is there. Oh, that's the variable for the numbers that are shown up, or the string, because it's a string now, it's not a number anymore. Until next tip 0 0 second okay. Of course, you can also do with minutes and seconds and hours and stuff like that, but this will be way more complicated. You will have to put some math in between. I will do 0 seconds until next tip now. Put this into this. And here. And this will happen if the timer is not higher than 0. And then you will want to go ahead like you did before. You don't need to activate the timer anymore, but you will have to set the timer to a certain number again, because otherwise it will not trigger. Let's do that. Of course, you can also deactivate the timer after this is finished. But I would suggest you to just keep it on all the time for now. Just if you set the text, you activate the timer again. And so it's setting it to 30 again, always taking 1 per second away from it. And then you can basically copy this section again and again, going through all the tips. But for now, let's test if it's actually working as I thought. So this should give us tip 1. And if I press again, yeah, there we go. 27 seconds, 23 seconds, and until then, tip 1 stays up there. So you can also see a little bit how the circuits are going. It's going till this if chip, and because there's still some seconds left, 7 seconds left, it's leading us down here and telling us 3 seconds until next tip. And now the 3 seconds are over, so normally if I did everything right, now tip 2 should appear there. And here we go, it's passing this threshold, resetting the timer, and now I have 24 seconds until next tip again. And this you can continue for however many tips you want to have. You could also put this into a circuit board if you want to. Basically, I created Basically, I created an invention, I think, that has this tip screen. I think it's called Escape Room Tip Board. So I created something. You can get this from the Invention Center. There we go. And there I already put this into a working circuit board, which you could also build for yourself. You just give a number of which riddle you are working on. This is a little bit different. I numbered it by riddle number, but there's also a timer. And you see, if you look into this, this is a little bit more complex, but broken down. That's not so complex, but it's broken down into this little circuit board that you also can get for free in the store. Yeah. If you want to use this, go ahead. If you want to build something like this for yourself, you have the tutorial now. Thank you guys for watching. As always, like and subscribe the video if you liked it, or leave a comment. You can also leave comments on what you want to see more on this channel. So see you in the next video. Bye bye.